Championship Thursday at the 30th Anniversary Volleyball Festival from downtown Phoenix at the Convention Center. And we get to the 8-teams division final. Alongside Kelly Tennant, I'm Michael Caratanudo, former USC alum, like I've told everybody, but more importantly, former 3-time champion from the festival. And now we get to the 8 teams, a team from Alaska, Midnight Sun, taking on, oh, fancy that, another Legacy team, the Legacy 18 Elite.
Another Legacy team, and I think that the difference between these two is you look at Alaska and they're pretty balanced. They have a lot of different weapons they can use. 30 years in this tournament. This is the first finals they've ever been in, so I think this is going to be a really exciting match for them. But then you look at Legacy, and they have one very key player in Lindsay Knutson. I think you have to keep your eye on her. Only 16 years old, and she can get it done.
Yeah, Coach talking about her, and I'm talking to Coach Kerr. It's just so funny. Talking to him yesterday, they had to come through the losers bracket today, but he's got his wardrobe, he's got the sandals, he's on the beach, even though he said, he looked at me yesterday, Mike, it's really hot, but I'm still on the beach. But his team is not playing like they're that relaxed.
No, definitely not.
But this Midnight Sun team from Alaska, Kelly, Coach Michael Vincent telling us 2 parents supporting their kids, find out they get to the championship, come down last night. They fly down from Alaska.
Doesn't get better than this.
As we get to action now, and serving will be number 7, Morgan Ho. And Midnight Sun gets the first point, and well, we know the Legacy crowd was very loud in the 16 match, and congratulations again to the Legacy 16 Elite team, along with the 14-year-old Arizona East Valley Juniors team winning the championship. Oh, and a nice block at the net goes out. Coming over to the table here, giving us
trying to get us involved
and
break our equipment. Now remember, the Legacy team is coming out of the losers bracket, so we're in that situation again where Alaska really has the advantage here. They can just push right through pretty quickly.
And that ball goes in. Legacy takes an early 2-1 lead. And yeah, Midnight Sun had a big matchup against the New Mexico Juniors 18 black team yesterday, Kelly, and 5 Division I players, like I was telling you, on that New Mexico team. So they are very, very tested. And it was just an unbelievable match. And you play a match like that, I was going to ask you play a match like that, such high intensity, and you win a match that big. Is it hard to get up for a championship the next day when you've exerted all that energy?
I don't think it's hard to get up for a championship, but I think it is tiring. For anyone, when you get to this day during the festival, you're exhausted. You've played more matches than ever, and especially for the Midnight Sun team. They have 3 clubs in Alaska, play the same people. They don't have tournaments like this, so this is a much different situation than they're used to.
Yeah, very big setting, and like Coach Vincent telling us that kind of get tired of playing those same 3 clubs, but they've come here and they have played very well as a team. Is now going back to serve now will be Sarah McGough for Legacy. And she gets the ace right there.
Legacy very powerful so far. They really seem to have the edge in terms of calming the nerves quickly and getting into their rhythm.
And that serve goes long, so it'll make it 6-2. And a game of runs, like you've said, and they get off to a very fast start. Up 4, now going back to serve will be Michaela Sweet, who's headed to play her college ball here in Arizona at Central Arizona College. Oh, and a nice hit down the line. Defense can't get there. Morgan Worley was there, but a lot of pepper on that hit.
You can't swing your arms like that. You really have to stay with your position, put your arms in the right spot. If it's going past you, let the person next to you take it. There can't be that controversy with the ball there.
Kelly Claus with the serve, and they have got off to a very fast start.
Nice job by Allison Lay taking that tip right over the back of the blockers. A very smart spot to put it early so she can swing away later in the match.
Oh, and it goes out off of a diving Michaela Sweet. Wow, a hit right there in the middle of the middle of the court was open, and it seemed like the block right there was a little late getting over too.
Exactly, the block is late, so that messes up back row defense. The block has to be on time to help the back row.
Lefty Morehouse hits the ball for Midnight Sun, the Alaska team in the red jerseys, white outline, white numbers, and the Legacy in their navy blue with the just powder blue numbers. And checking in to serve now will be number 2, Kayla Sims for the Midnight Sun. 13 down, 8-4. and they get the ace, making it 8-5.
Great serve, great movement on that ball, forcing Legacy to move their feet. That's key. You have to find spots in between people, those holes, or make someone move their feet.
And what a big hit right there. You talk about big hits. Alexandra Hirsch goes cross court, and there was no chance on directing that ball.
Well, we've seen some serious power, but there isn't really blocking up there out of this Midnight Sun team. They've got to get some hands up there to take away the court.
And Midnight Sun gets the point there. Heather Green helping her team out. So now it's 9-6. They're still in this. As dominant as it seems that Legacy has been, just a 3-point lead for them. Heather Green back to serve. Green will go back to serve for Midnight Sun. And McGough with the hit there, but just misses the cross-court line. But the alley was wide open for her there.
That's the beauty of getting a block up. Now you're forcing them to hit around you. That causes some errors.
Green puts the ball back in play. Now McGough again. Oh, and a net violation there on Legacy. Now Midnight Sun within 9-8.
Doing a very good job of just sticking with it. Midnight Sun is not standing out necessarily in any one aspect of the game, but they're just sticking with it and staying tight.
Well, and that jump serve right there, you said sometimes the top spins were a little more easy. That had a magnet for the floor, Kelly, is once it got to the top of the net, it just dropped.
Well, and I think the way it's curving towards that sideline makes it very difficult to line up in front of.
Ooh, and a big hit there, but the block had a little bit more of a presence, caused McGough to go long.
A lot of errors in a row for Legacy. They have to just take a breath, get one good pass, a nice set out, keep the ball in play, force this Midnight Sun team to make an error.
Well, and they're not making an error. A heck of a service run by Heather Green gives her team now a 2-point lead as they are up 11-9. Dexter with the hit there, and they get the point. And you talked about the importance of momentum, and now you see a Legacy timeout as momentum just shifted back. And you're saying in the last game, almost with each hit for the Legacy 16 team, more and more confident. Yeah, they were excited about the championship game, but they settled down pretty quick and now have a 12-9 lead.
Yeah, you have to just take your time, figure out what this Legacy team is doing, and they've really been able to find their own groove. You can't worry so much about what everyone else is doing. You have to worry about your game. There's a reason that the Midnight Sun team is here. You have to play your game. Good pass, good set, good hit. It's been very good.
And as we see the fans down there for the Legacy team, again, just going absolutely crazy, trying to pump them up.
There's been some good crowds in these finals over here. I like it. And it's funny because a lot of clubs have multiple teams in different age group finals, so they all stick around and cheer each other on, and that's part of the whole fun.
Yeah, they're already up here at the championship court, so they figure they might as well stick around and get even louder and watch the great action like we've seen on the court so far. Oh, and McGough takes it off the block as Morgan Ho is right there, pardon me, but it just drops down.
A really great job by McGough of using the high hands of that block with the roll shot. You don't have to hit it straight down. You don't have to find a seam. Oftentimes the best thing you can do is use hands.
So Haley Knapp will now serve. Free ball over for Legacy. Oh, and the hit from the back row. That was Morgan Fay, but she elevated perfectly, but just seemed to drive that right into the net.
She has to snap at the top of her swing. She swung down and then snapped at the very end. Her hand was already finishing into the net.
Dexter now will serve with her team up by 3, 13-10. And to get the ace on that one as it is 14-10.
Great serve. Again, dropping right in front of the hands and the feet of those passers.
And that this Midnight Sun team seems to have such the relaxed attitude. Championship game, said their fourth tournament, but they've been here every year. All 30 years they've been part of the festival, and their first championship in any age group. Who was hitting it down there was as number 6, Allison Lay. So as our coach likes to say, she's headed to a hockey school to play volleyball back in Massachusetts in Quinnipiac. Oh, nice job there by Legacy to track that down. Oh, and of course the big hit right there from Lindsay Knutson. That makes it 14-12 now.
Midnight Sun too late on that block. You have to get your feet over, wait, and then press really hard, but they're just a tad late. They got to get up earlier and press over.
Oh, and a nice hit from the back row there by Heather Green, and we saw that with Hope on the last game, is setting the back row, trying to neutralize that block.
And that's the first that we've seen during this first set, and it's super important, especially at this age group. You want to have as much variety as possible when you get to the 18s.
And Sweet takes advantage of that and just puts it down, making it 16-12. And they couldn't have said it any better. They're taking advantage of every little mistake that Legacy's making. Oh, and the quick set gets blocked at the net by Allison Lee.
Lay moves so well at the net, and she's pressing fast. That's a perfect job by a middle blocker to be quick on your feet, and then even without having to full jump, she presses her hands over.
But Legacy goes outside to Knutson and gets the side out point right there. So 17-13 now the score. But big point there from Midnight Sun. And Kelly, you're absolutely right. I mean, obviously you play in the middle, but having that just height presence in the middle and that athleticism has got to be intimidating, even though I know teams are competitors, but extremely intimidating to have that presence on the court.
Definitely, and Legacy isn't even putting up a block against Lay on that slide or on the quick in the middle. They have to get some hands up on her.
Oh, and the tip over works, and that was for Holly Morehouse.
A lot of different shots that we're seeing from Midnight Sun, and that's what is forcing Legacy to run all over the court. They don't know what's coming, so they look really uncomfortable.
No problem there for Morgan Worley.
Good coverage.
Midnight Sun able to keep this point going. Oh, and Knutson with the big hit there, but Sweet pops it up, and Lay's able to get it over. Oh, and she just catches the line, too, for the point.
We've seen that in all of the finals today. You don't follow to the back line. You don't get your foot on that back line. That's going to happen to you. Especially at this age group and this level, they have to get their feet back there. That one, Lay was moving still when she was blocking. You have to have your feet planted and then jump up. She was kind of swaying to the side, and that's where she gets used. If you press over firmly, that's not going to happen.
Now Kelly Claus will go back and serve for Legacy. Oh, the quick set in the middle, and the tip works for Haley Knapp. 20-15.
Give them a taste of their own medicine. If Midnight Sun is going to make you run all over the place, you give it right back to them. There's no reason you shouldn't.
Get back in this first game. Oh, and off the block outside.